We're going back in time with Charlene today. Several years ago, ASaP recorded videos of educators using pyramid model practices in their rooms. These practices support the social and emotional development of children and their inclusion. So we use these videos in our training workshops and for reflective practice. But as ASaP turns 10 this year, we reached back out to those educators who so bravely put themselves on camera, and we had them watch one of their videos. Now I'm talking with these educators about what they remember, what they learned, and how ASaP still influences their practice today. Let's go meet Charlene. So hi, Charlene. Welcome.
Hi, Gina. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So tell us, when did you start with ASaP?
I believe it would be just a year after ASaP began. So it was about 2013, I guess.
So with ASaP, you were teaching in a preschool, and it looks like you're still teaching in a preschool. Is that correct? Yeah. How long have you been teaching?
I have been teaching at our preschool at Sunny Start for 13 years now. It was within like our first 3 to 4 years that then we started with ASaP, actually.
I was going to say, you've had the benefit of understanding the pyramid model and using those practices for the majority of your preschool career.
Yeah, it was perfect timing, actually.
As part of this celebration, we wanted to watch some of the videos that we recorded of educators and have you reflect on what you recall. So we're going to watch a short video of you supporting some children in some problem solving, and then I want to ask you some questions about that.
Okay, sounds good.
Hi, boys and girls. Can I help you today? Did you have a problem?
My book, but we're trying to find my book.
Yes.
Oh, my page.
So are your friends helping you?
No.
Okay, so it sounds like you're feeling frustrated. Are you feeling frustrated right now?
And Dad, they're trying to help me.
And Rylan was trying to help you find it too. Thank you. I hear your words.
But everybody's trying to find it.
So everyone's trying to find it. Do you think maybe there are too many helpful friends and you're feeling frustrated? Okay.
We're not finding our books, just helping.
Thank you, Lucy, for trying to be a helpful friend. But Landon, could you tell your friends again? How are you feeling?
What the waited because you don't. I'm trying.
You and Rylan.
Rylan trying to buy my book died.
Okay, so thanks for being a helpful friend, Lucy and Lila. But sometimes, if too many friends help, then I can feel a little frustrated and my body can feel crazy. So maybe, Rylan, would you like to get some more help? Or maybe look at this. Can I help you right now, Landon?
No, I don't want.
You just want Rylan to help you? Okay. So what would be the best way, Rylan, do you think, to find Landon's books today? All right. Landon, I think you could help too. What if we pulled them out? Yeah, we could try, Landon. You could pull some out today too and see.
No. I want some tasty food in her belly. Would you put them in?
Yeah. So I know that you were going to ask Rylan to help, and I love that you asked nicely for him to help. Can I help you now, though, too, Landon? Okay, thanks for that. Here, what if we do this? I'm going to take a big chunk of books out, and I'm going to put them down here. I see Jessa's picture. Sorry, Mason. And I covered Mason's book. What? I'm sorry. We'll move it over. Thank you, Mason.
Oh, did have that
Jessa. She did. And Brady and Maya.
Oh, my page is empty. This is Mom's.
There's yours, Ellie. Would you like your book today?
I can do any page that I want.
Yep, absolutely. It is all yours. You can do whatever you would like in your book. Good job. Nice.
My page is all empty.
I'll be right there, Claire. That's fantastic. And now, how are you feeling, Landon? Better and happy?
I can go all
Rylan,
my
did
pages.
you see Landon found his book? Thanks for being a helpful friend too.
I love that video. I have to tell you, that is one of our main videos. We use it in our core training as a video for educators to reflect on the process of problem solving. I'm wondering, what are your first thoughts as you rewatch that video?
what I noticed right away is I did a lot of talking during that time for sure. But I also, once I watched it, it was really neat to see the process of how it went through. Like when you're in the moment, you're just doing it to hopefully get to where the child becomes independent and is that problem solver. And then for him just to see how he was empowered and he was able to find his own book. I was really proud of him in that moment. So it was really neat to see again, actually.
I could tell you were proud of him in that moment, because right at the end, you could have given him this big squeeze and you're like, look at that, you did it. You're almost cheering with him. And I could see the look of pride on his face, and it was matched with you. It's interesting you comment on, how I was talking a lot, how we see ourselves. I know as teachers, we always are talking too much probably. But it's interesting, as I watched that video, I felt like in a lot of ways you were interpreting for him. He seemed rather dysregulated, like he was having a hard time getting his words out. And he was a little bit hard, I found, to understand. And so you were kind of interpreting almost for him so that he felt heard, but also for the other students to understand maybe what he was feeling and wanting.
It's like a special place to be, right? When you can be that person to be able to help another child or another person be able to figure out how they're feeling, give them those words, and then move on to.
It is a bit of a trusted, honored space, right? Because he's trusting you as an adult to be able to support him. We talk about the circle of security with hands on the circle, right? Yes. And he obviously felt safe enough with you to not try to hide his feelings, to not try to brush it off, and to feel comfortable sharing his experience with you. So you're right, that is a special space to be in. Absolutely. What else do you remember from that day or routine?
I just remember that was kind of the time of the year where you could see the students really starting to become independent. So as we had been working through the problem solving process all year long, then the fact that there were so many students would be like, we just want to be a helpful friend and we want him to help to solve the problem. So I just remember that year, there was a lot of strong students who had really learned the problem solving process. And then they were really becoming independent on their own and wanting to be helpful to other students.
So how does your practice of problem solving kind of evolved over the years since your time with ASaP?
I've just become a lot more comfortable with it. So now at the beginning, it was a lot of hard work. Like I thought I was kind of faking it for a while as I was trying to put all of like the language in place and incorporating all the visuals and things like that. And as well, the problem solving chart that we have to give all of the different options for problem solving. So all of that, I felt so scripted at first, but I knew that I wanted to be super intentional to learn how to do it. But now as time has gone by, it's just become so natural. Like just when going into a situation now, I never panic or like, oh no, what's going to happen? Just go in calmly and just be able to go through the problem solving process, right? Like recognizing emotions, seeing how everyone's feeling, and then giving them the options of how they can solve that problem and helping them to become independent in that for sure.
And what do you notice different in the children over the course of the year?
At the beginning of the year, definitely we are giving them like 2 options how they can solve the problem. And then we increase that, the different number of options that they can choose. And we use visuals, especially at the beginning, a lot more. But then as the year progresses, pretty soon we're like, okay, well now how about you make that choice? What would you like? How would you solve the problem? So asking them, and now they have the tools to be able to either go to our chart and be like, oh, we think we should solve the problem this way. Or sometimes now children just think of it right off the top of their head of how they would like to solve that problem. And usually from spring break till the rest of the year, we're noticing them actually not even coming to us to say they have a problem. They're starting to actually be able to solve their problem on their own. Or you can hear them be like, well, let's go get the timer. Why don't you just trade? So it's really cool to see that happening.
That's impressive. I think we underestimate that, 3 and 4-year-olds could do that. But it sounds like there is that intentional, and you're saying from about spring break to the end of the year. So that's 3 or 4 months out of a 10-month program year. So you are being very intentional about practicing and practicing and practicing and normalizing problem solving in the first seven months. And then you start to see that. And I'm guessing that carries through if they attend your preschool the second year.
Yes. And sometimes it's really nice because even by that second year, the other students are then even right at the beginning, they're recalling how they are solving problems and then are able to teach the new students as well. And we always are intentional on telling the students they've solved their problem, or we always want to label it when they have done it so they know that they've done it and that's what they've accomplished. So I think that also helps, actually just helping them to recognize, hey, I can do it. And then it gives them the courage to take that next step for the next time they have to solve a problem.
When we use that video in our training, we point that out to say, like, clearly this is not the first time they've done this, but when it's normal, when it's regular occurrence that you just do this, yeah, some of those problems can be solved in under 2 or 3 minutes. Whereas, without that, some problems just get dragged out and drawn out all day long.
Yes, it's very true. So yeah, it absolutely has definitely made a difference in our classroom, just to solve the problems and then move forward and then be in a space that's positive. And also I feel like the children are empowered actually to be able to know that they can solve those problems too.
Yeah. And then it leaves you, more time to be able to connect with students in other ways. But what else from your time with ASaP really sticks out with you today?
I say this humbly, but it seems like almost our preschool has like upped a level almost just in how we help the children to solve problems, or how we help them in their social skills to create those friendships and the social skills as well. And also having like the routines and the visuals. I feel like this year we are especially helping families, just helping them in their social, emotional skills and areas that they're having trouble at home too, because this is kind of a whole new world after the pandemic, right? So there's new things and new skills that we learned a long time ago with ASaP, but now it seems to be coming into play a little bit more, even just being able to support families more than we ever have before, because we have this knowledge and we have seen how it works in the classroom, and then we can pass it on to the families at home to give them that help as well, or support in any way they need as well. So
I'm glad you speak to that, because I remember early when the pandemic had first started, and everybody's talking about mental health and taking care of yourself and supporting emotions. And I was like, I think this is what we've trained for. I think the world is catching up to what we've been trying to say for years, is that if we do this in the beginning, it will benefit when it counts. So you're seeing that in action. So that's
absolutely.
That's really powerful to hear you say that. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. This has been nice to reflect with you and go back down memory lane a bit, and look at how those practices have been sustained at your school. I like how you say, our school feels like it's up a level. It's up to level. It's enriched, right? The quality of your practice is enriched, is what I'm hearing, and it's
that's a good word.
A better teaching experience than it would have been otherwise. Well, all the best in your problem-solving efforts in the future.
Thank you. Thank you.